pages, eh, hindi naman umaabot ng 5 pages. No? Maigsi lang. So, I don't find great reason why you cannot submit your report before the day, ano. Nakikita nyo sa screen, na proofread ko, no? Na proofread. Now, this afternoon, palakayin natin pag-usapan yung statement of changes in equity. Hindi kumpleto inyong financial statements kung wala yon. At makikita mo dito yung all about components, changes, items comprising the equity section of the statement of financial position. Jackie, you may start. Jackie.
Yes po, sir.
Laksan mo ang boses mo. May na-volume mo.
Hello po.
Yan.
Start na po ako.
Sige.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jacqueline Aguilar. Ang i-discuss ko po ngayon is about statement of changes in equity and statement of cash flows. Ano nga po ba ang equity? Equity is defined as the residual inherent as the assets in the assets of an entity after deducting all of the liabilities. In other words, equity is the equivalent of net assets, meaning total assets minus total liabilities. Although equity is defined as a residual, it may be subclassified in the statement of financial positions. Yung equity po, ito yung ownership ng assets na maaring may utang or liabilities na naka-attach sa kanito. Yes po, sir. Okay na po, sir. Tutuloy ko pa. Hello po.
Jacqueline, nakikinig mo ako?
Yes po, sir.
Ikaw na mag-present. Nakaproblema ako din sa end ko. Makapag-present ka ba?
Mayroon pa akong
Ikaw na
i-ano po.
mag-share screen?
Si
Sige, ikaw na
Clarice
lang.
po magpe-present. Mag-share screen po.
Oh, sige, ikaw na lang.
Start na po ako.
Mm-mm. Wala pa kami na, ayan.
Okay pa. Equity. Equity is defined as the residual inherent in the assets of an entity after deducting all of the liabilities. In other words, equity is the
Teka
equivalent.
muna, wala pa kami nakikita. May nakikita na ba kayo? Ba't ako?
Meron na
Wait,
Meron
Hoy.
na po.
Ba't ako? Meron na? Wala pa ako nakikita. Teka, sandali. Wala pa ako nakikita. Sa inyo kayo, meron na. Nasaan ba si, ano? Ah, Kate, may nakikita ka na sa screen? Ayan.
Meron po, sir.
Ang bilis naman ng internet dito sa akin. Okay, go.
Equity is defined as the residual inherent in the assets of an entity after deducting all of the liabilities. In other words, equity is the equivalent of net assets, meaning total assets minus total liabilities. Although equity is defined as a residual, it may be subclassified in the statement of financial position. Yung equity po, ito yung ownership ng assets na maaaring may utang or liabilities na naka-attach sa kanila. Mini-measure nito ang mga layunin ng accounting sa pamamagitan ng pagbawas ng mga liabilities na mula sa value of the assets. In other words, yung equity ay equivalent sa net assets, which is yung total of assets ay i-deduct sa total liabilities. In a corporate entity, the following subclassification may be shown separately. A. Share capital. Funds funds contributed by shareholders equal to the par of stated value. Yung share capital po, ito po yung borrowed capital ng company. It is actually the money of the shareholders, and since the shareholders are partly the owners of the company. B. Share premium. Share premium. Funds contributed by shareholders in excess of par or stated value. Yung share premium po, it also known as additional paid-in capital, and it can be called in um, excess of par value. C. Retained earnings which may be unappropriate and appropriated. Ito po yung naka-refers po siya sa portion ng net income which is retained by the corporations rather than distributed to its owners as dividends. Statement of change. The holders of instruments classified as equity are simply known as owners. Statement of changes in equity. The statement of changes in equity is a formal statement that shows the movements in the elements or components of the shareholders' equity. Ang purpose ng statement of changes in equity is mag-provide ng details about sa lahat ng movement sa equity account during an accounting period which is otherwise not available anywhere else in the financial statements. An entity shall present a statement of changes in equity showing one, comprehensive income for the period. Yung comprehensive income for the period, ito yung nagre-represents ng changes sa owners' equity that originate from non-owners sources at tradition income. Two, for each component of equity, the effects of changes in accounting policies and corrections of errors. You, Sa 2 po, ang changes in accounting policies and corrections of errors ay karaniwang binaliktad sa nakaraan or saman salaman samantalang ang changes in accounting estimates ay karaniwang inasaan sin inasaalang-alang sa hinaharap. 3. For each component of equity, a reconciliation between the carrying amount at the beginning and end of the period separately disclosed changes from A. Profit or loss. Yung profit or losses po, ito yung P&L statement shows sa company's ability to generate sales, manage expenses, and create profits. B. Each item of the comprehensive income. Ito yung other comprehensive income consists of revenues, expenses, gains, and losses that according to the GAAP and IFRS standards are excluded from net income on the income statement. C. Transactions with owners in their capacity as owners showing separately contributions by and distributions to owners. And also changes in ownership interest in subsidiaries. Illustrations, all amounts are shown. Exemplar company statement of changes in equity. Year ended December 31, 2017. Balances sa January 1, share capital 5 million, reserves 2 million, retained retained earnings 1 million, correction of error resulting from prior year under depreciations minus 100,000 in retained earnings, change in accounting policy from weighted average to FIFO credit in retained earnings 300,000, issuance of 10,000 ordinary shares with 100 par at 150 per share in share capital 1 million, reserves 500,000, issuance of 5,000 preference shares with 50 pesos per par share, share capital for 250,000 and reserves 250,000. In comprehensive income, net income, retained earnings 1,550,000, other comprehensive income, reserves 50,000, dividends declared during the year minus 400,000 in retained earnings, current appropriation for reserves 200,000 minus 200,000 in retained earnings, balances in December 31 in share capital 6,250,000 in reserves 3 million in retained earnings 2,150,000. Generally, the calculation structure of statement of changes in equity is beginning equity plus net income minus dividends or plus minus other changes is equal to ending equity result in a loss or of control. The list provides information on the changes in the company's share capital, accumulated reserves, and retained earnings over the reporting period based on the accounting principles. Equity is equal to assets minus liability. Statement of retained earnings. The statement retained earnings shows the changes affecting directly the retained earnings of an entity. The statement of retained earnings is now a part of the statement of changes in equity. Yung statement of retained earnings, ito yung nag-a-appear as a separate statement or as an inclusion on either a balance sheet or an income statement. The statement is a financial document that includes information regarding a firm's retained earnings, along with the net income and amounts distributed to stockholders in the form of dividends. The statement reconciled the beginning and ending retained earnings for the period. using information such as net income from the other financial statements. It is prepared in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles or GAAP. The important data affecting the retained earnings that should be clearly disclosed in the statement of retained earnings are A. Net income or loss for the period. B. Prior period errors. C. Dividends declared and paid to shareholders. D. Effect of change in accounting policy. D. Appropriation of retained earnings. Items directly affecting retained earnings. Net income or net loss for the period. Net income is added because it increases retained earnings, and net loss is deducted because it decreases retained earnings. Net income or net net income or loss for the period retained earnings are affected by any increases or decreases ng net income. And by dividends paid to shareholders. Net income, ito yung net income i-a-add dahil nag-increase ng retained earnings at sa net loss naman ay ide-deduct dahil bumaba yung retained earnings. Dividends to shareholder ay prior period errors. The prior period errors are shown as adjustment of the beginning balance of retained earnings to arrive at the corrected beginning balance. If the net income of the prior period is understated, the amount of error is added to retained earnings. If the net income of the prior period is overstated, the amount of error is deducted from retained earnings. Prior period errors, there could be an incorrect applications or depreciation rules, an expense incorrectly recorded as an asset or a mathematical error. Kung ang net income noong nakaraang panahon ay understated, so ang amount ng error ay i-add sa retained earnings. Well, kapag ang net income ay overstated, ang amount ng error ay ma-minus sa retained earnings. Dividends to shareholders. The dividends declared or paid during the year shall be deducted from the retained earnings. If the net So, yung dividend to shareholders, both stocks and cash dividend reduce a company's retained earnings. If you look to the company's balance sheet after the dividend distribution, you'll notice that the retained earnings has been reduced by a sum equal to the size of dividend distribution. Effect of change in accounting policy. This is shown as an adjustment of the beginning balance of retained earnings. If the net income of prior period is understated because of change in accounting policy, the effects is added to the beginning retained earnings. If the net income is prior period is overstated because of change in accounting policy, the effect is deducted from the beginning retained earnings. Yung effect of change in accounting policy, the company must use consistent accounting policy from one accounting period to another. It is easy for the readers to compare the reports. It also prevents company from taking advantage of accounting treatment, as we know that the revenue and expense will impact by different accounting policies. Kung ang net income noong nakarang panahon ay understated dahil sa change in accounting policy, so ang effects ay i-add sa beginning retained earnings. Well, kapag ang net income ay overstated, kapag ang net income kapag ang net income ay overstated dahil sa change in accounting policy, ang effect ay ma-minus sa beginning retained earnings. Retained earnings appropriated. The amount of appropriation is deducted from the unappropriate balance of retained earnings. Conversely, if the appropriations is subsequently cancelled, it is reverted or added back to the unappropriated balance. Retained earnings may be appropriated for the following reasons: A. Legal requirement, as in the case of treasury shares. B. Contractual requirements, as in the case of redemptions. C. En- Entity policy, as in the case of appropriations for contingencies. Illustrations, all amounts are assumed. Exemplar company statement of retained earnings year ended on December 31, 2017. Retained earnings January 1, 1 million. Correction of error prior year under depreciations minus 100,000. Change in accounting policy from weighted average to FIFO inventory valuation resulting in increase 300,000 is equal to corrected beginning balance 1,200,000 is plus net income for the period 1,550,000 minus dividends declared during the year 400,000 appropriated for contingency minus 200,000 is equal to retained earnings on December 31, 2,150,000. Yung formula po na ginamit dito is retained earnings is equal to beginning period retained earnings plus net income or loss minus cash dividends minus stock dividends. Two approaches in determining income. The financial performance of an entity is determined using two approaches, namely capital maintenance approach and transaction approach. The transaction approach is already extensively discussed in Chapter 6. Yung capital maintenance po or capital recovery, ito yung accounting concept based sa principle that company's income at na kailangang i-recognize after ma-fully recovered ang cost nito or capital nito na mini-maintain. Yung transaction approach naman ay ang concept of deriving the financial results ng business by recording individual revenue, expense, at iba pang purchase transactions. The capital maintenance approach means the net income occurs only after the capital used from the beginning of the period is maintained. In other words, net income is the amount of entity can distribute to the owners be as well of be as well of the distinction between return of capital and return on capital is important to the understanding of net income. Shareholders invest in entity to earn a return on capital or an amount in excess of their original investment. Return on capital is an erosion of the capital invested in the entity. The conceptual framework considered two concepts of capital maintenance as well or well offense, namely financial capital and physical capital. Yung return of capital or ROC ay payment or return na nanggaling sa investment na hindi kino-considered na taxable event is not tax in ano and is not taxed as income. Na po, sir.
Okay. May tanong lang ako, no? Now, tinatalakay natin yung statement of changes in equity, ano? So, alam naman natin, isa yan doon sa, now, I mentioned the four, no? Tapos na tayo sa statement of financial position. Tapos na tayo sa statement of comprehensive income. Ngayon, nasa statement of changes in equity tayo. Patungo tayo sa statement of cash flows. Now, ang tanong ko, kung hawak mo yung ano, no? Hawak mo yung statement of comprehensive income. Yun ang hawak mo. Statement of comprehensive income. At syempre, noong tinitingnan mo yung pinakamababang figure, yung pinakamababang figure, ang nakita mo ay total comprehensive income is equal to 5 million. Yun ang pinakamababang figure sa statement of comprehensive income. Ang total daw ng comprehensive income ay 5 million. Tanong ko lang, Jackie, ito bang 5 million representing the total comprehensive income, ito ba ay i-close o mapupunta sa, ibig ko sabihin, mapupunta pa ito sa retained earnings, yung 5 million na yun? Sagot, yes or no? Ang total comprehensive income mo ay 5 million. Yung ba ay magiging part o i-close sa retained earnings? Yes or no? Kunyari, 5 million ang nakita mong total comprehensive income. Yung bang 5 million na yun ay i-close mo? Mapupunta ba yon sa retained earnings? And retained earnings and.
Yes po, sir.
Ha? Baksan mo naman ang sagot mo. Hindi kita makinig.
Yes po, sir.
Yes. Yung 5 million punta sa retained earnings. Okay. So, yun na. Kapag ang total comprehensive income mo, sabi ni Jackie, ay 5 million, yung 5 million na yon ay pupunta, ako close, sa retained earnings end. No? Okay, bago ko sagutin yung tanongin kita ulit, Jackie. Yung bang statement of comprehensive income, the same as other comprehensive income? Kung meron kang computation ng other comprehensive income, yun di ba, the same ba yun sa statement of comprehensive income? Kapire pa yung dalawang yun? Jackie? Ulo sa si Jackie.
Yes po, sir.
Yung bang other comprehensive income, yun na rin ba yun? Ang comprehensive income, isa bang kahulugan nun? Jackie?
Yes po, sir.
Yes. Sagot mo, yes. So, kay Jackie, yung other comprehensive income, pag sinabi mo other comprehensive income ay 3 million, at tinanong magkano ang comprehensive income, ang sasagot ni Jackie, 3 million din. Okay. So, hindi ko pa sinasagot yung mga tanong, ha? Now, sagutin ko na. Now, before going into studying statement of comprehensive income, tapos na tayo doon no? Nakita natin na ito palang statement of comprehensive income ay binubuo ng dalawang parts, Ang nasa taas ay yung tinatawag nilang income statement or statement of profit or loss. Pagpalagay natin ang profit or loss or income statement is profit of half million. Half million. Tapos sa baba, meron yung add other comprehensive income. Add other comprehensive income. This is pagpalagay natin 300. Pinag-total mo yung dalawa, 800,000. Ano ba ito sinasabing other comprehensive income? Yan pumapasok yung mga unrealized gain, unrealized loss. Mga unrealized gain, unrealized loss. Ang maraming yan ay coming from the, hindi man lahat, ang pwede ang isa sa mga pwedeng pumasok diyan ay yung mga unrealized loss, gain or loss, unrealized gain or loss do sa mga foreign exchange transactions, no? O translation ng mga financial statements stated at foreign currency kung meron kang subsidiary sa foreign country. So, yun ang composition ng other comprehensive income. Kapag pinag-add mo yung dalawa, no? Income and profit summary, this is equal to 500,000 plus other comprehensive income, 300 million, equals 800,000. Hindi, mali pala eh. Kung yung iyong profit and loss or net income ay 500,000 at ang iyong other comprehensive income ay 300,000, so may total kang 800,000. Ano yung total na yun? Yun ang comprehensive income na tinatawag. Comprehensive income. So, malinaw, yung comprehensive income ay iba sa other comprehensive income. Sapagkat ang comprehensive income ay profit and loss plus other comprehensive income equals comprehensive income. Paano naman yung mga cases na zero ang other comprehensive income mo? Ay di, profit and loss plus zero equals comprehensive income. In this case, kung magkano yung profit and loss, sapagkat yung others mo, other comprehensive income is zero, ang iyong comprehensive income is equal to the profit and loss balance. Now, inuulit ko ulit tanong ko sa iyo, Jackie. Kung ang na-compute ko na comprehensive income ay 800,000, yung bang 800,000 na yun, i-close ko sa retained earnings ending para maging part yan ng retained earnings ending. Yes or no? Kung ang aking comprehensive income ay 800,000, ito ba i-close ko sa retained earnings? At
No
the
po,
end of, ha? Your
no
answer is
po.
yes. Ha? Baksan mo naman ang sagot mo. Hindi kita makinig.
Yes po.
Yes.
No,
Pero dito, Jackie, doon sa sagot mong yes, kinokontra ko. Kasi dito sa report mo, no, dito sa illustration, exemplar company, statement of changes in equity, year ended December 31, 2017. No? Sa baba, pinakikita mo dito kung magkano ang share capital, which is 6,250,000. At alam naman natin, yung reserve is also a part of equity na ang reserves ay 3 million. At ang related earnings ay 2,150,000. So dito, pinakikita mo yung tatlong portion ng equity. Iba yung portion ng share capital, may kanyang sariling portion ang reserves, at may kanyang portion ang retained earnings. So kung tatanong mo ngayon at this point, magkano ang equity? Eh di i-add mo lamang yung tatlong yan para masagot mo yung tanong, magkano ngayon ang equity? Now dito sa iyong present na table, no? Sa loob, meron ditong comprehensive income consisting of net income, 1,550,000. At other comprehensive income, 50,000. At malinaw dito sa ini-report mo, kung yung comprehensive income ay may dalawang komposisyon. Isang composition at net income at isang composition ay other comprehensive income. Ang net income ay i-close, magiging part ng retained earnings. At base sa iyong illustration, itong other comprehensive income na 50,000 ay papasok sa reserve, hindi papasok sa retained earnings. Okay? Naintindihan mo, Jackie?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So remember, class, yung bang comprehensive income, ikaw close sa retained earnings. Aba, sagutin mo muna ang tanong. Ano ba composition ng iyong comprehensive income? Yan ba merong other comprehensive income portion? Ba't mo inaalam? Kasi yung other comprehensive income portion, hindi sa retained earnings ikaw close, kundi sa reserve. Okay. So, we go to the next portion of the study. Almendras. Ba, parang hindi ko nakikita sa almendras. Nandiyan pala. Almendras, you may uh, start to the report.
I will discuss the two concepts of capital maintenance. First, financial capital. Under a financial capital concept, such as invested money or invested purchasing power, capital is synonymous with net assets or equity of the entity. Ang capital daw ay same sa net assets or equity ng entity. Sabi naman kanina na ang ibig sabihin ng net assets o equity ay assets minus liabilities. Financial capital is the monetary amount of the net assets contributed by shareholders and the amount of the increase in net assets resulting from earnings retained by the entity. Ang financial capital ay investment ng owners plus the profit or loss ng entity. Actually, financial capital is the traditional concept based on historical cost. It is the concept that is adopted by most entities. Historical cost is the original cost. Ibig sabihin kung ano yung price noong binili or purchase price. The financial capital concept is adopted if the users of financial statements are primarily concerned with the maintenance of nominal invested capital or the purchasing power of invested capital. Ginagamit ang financial capital kung ang concern ng users ay ang pag-maintain ng nominal invested capital. Ito yung authorized capital or amount of share capital na pwedeng i-issue ng isang company. Under this concept, net income occurs when the nominal amount of the net assets at the end of the year exceeds the nominal amount of the net assets at the beginning of the period, after excluding distributions to and contributions by owners during the period. Magkakaroon ng net income kapag mas mataas ang amount ng net assets at the end of the period kaysa sa beginning of the period. Illustration: the following assets, liabilities, and other financial data pertain to the current year. Total assets on January 1, 1,500,000, and on December 31, 2,500,000. Total liabilities on January 1, 1 million, and on December 31 is 1,200,000. Additional investments during the year, 400,000. Dividends paid during the year, 300,000. Computation of net income. Net assets on December 31, total assets 2,500,000 minus total liabilities 1,200,000 equals 1,300,000. Add dividends paid 300,000, total 1,600,000. Less net assets on January 1, 1,500,000 minus 1 million equals 500,000. Additional investments 400,000 with a total of 900,000. The net income is 700,000. Itong net assets on December 31, ito yung net assets at the end of the year. At itong net assets on January 1 naman yung beginning. Dividends paid, ito yung distribution of owners at ang additional investments yung contributions. Note that the amount of net assets is the excess of total assets over the the total liabilities. This is the reason this approach is also known as the net assets approach. Next is physical capital. Physical capital is the quantitative measure of the physical productive capacity to produce goods and services. Physical productive capacity may be based on, for example, units of output per day or physical capacity of productive assets to produce goods and services. This concept requires that productive assets be measured at current cost rather than historical cost. Ito yung kaibahan ng physical capital sa financial capital. Kung sa financial capital ay historical cost, sa physical capital ay current cost. Productive assets include inventories and property, plant, and equipment. The current costs for these productive assets must be maintained in order that physical capital is also maintained. Accordingly, physical capital is equal to the net assets of the entity expressed in terms of current cost. Current cost is the current value o yung price sa ngayon. The physical concept of capital should be adopted if the main concern of users is the operating capability of the entity, meaning the resource or fund needed to achieve that operating capability or capacity. Under this concept, net income occurs when the physical productive capital of the entity at the end of the year exceeds the physical productive capital at the beginning of the period. Also, after excluding distributions to and contributions from owners during the period. Same lang sa net income ng financial capital, pero dito based on physical productive capital. Illustration. Assume in the previously given illustration, the net assets of 500,000 on January 1 had a current cost of 800 pesos by reason of inflationary condition. The net income under the physical capital concept is computed as follows. Net assets on December 31, 1,300,000, add dividends paid 300,000, total 1,600,000, less net assets at current cost January 1, 800,000. Naging 800,000 dahil yun ang given na current cost. Additional investments, 400,000 with a total of 1,200,000. The net income is 400,000. Yun lang po.
Nasaan si Diana? Narinig mo ako, Diana?
Opo, sir.
Tapos ka na ba?
Opo.
Ako nawala. Okay. So, very clear naman ang distinction kung sa computation ng net income mo, ay approach, ano? So, comparing the two, uh, physical. Okay. So, iba na itong na-experience ko these days. Either mahina ang signal or hindi ko na rin masabi. Baka may diferensya na itong aking laptop, ano? But if you will be asking me today, kasi makikita pa tayo second semester, no? Now, chances are, probably, pag sinabing probably, labang sa 50%, face-to-face na tayo, no? Kasi hindi na ako happy sa online, eh, no? Nagde-deteriorate yung signal, or is either, ang may diferensya, ito aking laptop, ano? So, ayun naman, sanay na sa face-to-face, eh, no? Okay. Now, yung portion na kayo na bahala, no? I have provided you the copy of the report na hindi mai-report kasi wala sa kondisyon yung magre-report, no? But I have provided you a copy, bahala na kayo doon. And I know naman na very understandable yung content ng portion na yon. Buksan na lang ang inyong mga camera for our uh, screenshot attendance. Okay. Si Jasser Jan. Okay ba ang signal dyan sa inyo, Jasser?
Medyo okay naman po, sir.
Oo, kasi bumabagal yung mahaba yung ikot ng ikot. Okay. So, sino ba ang malayo dito? Sa Malbar. Si Kate Ann. Malakas ba signal dyan sa Malbar? Kate?
Hindi po sir, mahina po ngayon.
Hindi. Ganun ba? Ano ba itong nangyayari sa atin? No? So, anyway, probably, we see each other face to face next semester. Ano? At nagde-deteriorate yung signal. Either signal or my laptop. Okay, so ang photographer natin this meeting, sino nga ba? Si Ray. Oh, hindi sumasagot si Ray. Ray, be our photographer. Okay, you count 1, 2, 3. Bahala ka na, no? Oo. You count 1, 2, 3. And everybody, show your smiles. Okay. Open na raw yung inyong cam. Oh, smile everybody. Okay. Okay. So you have a break and then 5:30 magkikita ulit tayo 5:30.